This year is the third year that ACDCA held the Women Leadership Forum in conjunction with TPP Australia. Being part of Miss Australia Chinese program, this event would not be successful without the great effort from Team ACDCA and Team TPP Australia. We always believe that young leadership is one of the key factors that contribute to the growth of Australia and China. And women's leadership play a vital role in this. Women in leadership roles are highly effective, which not only bring diversity, but also add to productivity and success. ACDCA sees this event as a platform for advancing women's leadership in our community, and would like to see more emerging women leaders to use their inspiration, creativity, and wisdom to become a real leaders in their respective organization and create a more cohesive society. As you may be aware, this year marked the 45th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations between China and Australia. We would like to celebrate the long-term relationship between the two great nations through this wonderful event. And this is why we make this the theme of the forum. We hope the contestants can demonstrate their intellectual prowess in giving ideas for growing the economic and cultural relationship between China and Australia.
Whilst Australian iron ore, coal, vitamin and baby formula form the core of our China-Australia trading relationship, I strongly believe that it is now time to stop focusing on traditional trading relationship and start to focus on the future. And by future, I mean sustainable energy. Now, put your hands up if you have a smartphone. Should be everybody in the room. Last year, Deloitte did a survey and found out that actually 84% of the Australian population own a smartphone. So without a doubt, I'm sure we can all agree on the fact that we are a highly advanced nation. So with such a strong reliance on smartphone and technologies, it would be absolutely ignorant to just turn a blind eye on the ever-increasing energy use. So I think now it is the perfect time for Australia and China to ramp up the cooperation on research and development of renewable energy technologies. Now, many of you are probably rolling your eyes thinking, China? China has the world's most enormous pollution problem. So for China to work with Australia and to advise us on how to reduce our carbon emission would seem crazy. But actually, believe it or not, China is now the world's largest supporter of green energy, accounting for around 17% of the global investment in the green energy sector. For example, back in June, Qinghai province managed to generate all the power it needed for its 5.2 million residents from just clean energy. Now that can include solar, wind, or hydropower. Now during this week of trial, 1.1 billion kilowatts of electricity was used, so that would be around 500,000 tonnes of coal. So given Australia's growing level of urbanisation, what better than to work with China to plan, design and develop low carbon cities that operate solely on renewable energy. Also, from an economic perspective, this would make sense too. In 2015, export volumes of coal from Australia to China decreased by 28%. Now, China plans to keep reducing its dependence on coal, so by 2050, we're looking at about a decrease of 40%, which is valued at 5.6 billion Australian dollars. So this is without a doubt that China's decision to decrease fossil fuel will have an implication for Australia's long-term economic prosperity. Finally, Australia and China have such a strong history of fantastic trade already, but now it's the time for two countries to cooperate, work together, and upgrade Australia's energy infrastructure to better incorporate renewable energy sources so that we as two nations can support each other in the present and the future. Thank you very much.
Award of gold for the winner of 2017 is contestant number 8, Claire Tag.
Thank you for your attention. The other girls have given suggestions based on their understanding, and as a scientific researcher, I would like to suggest more collaborations between China and Australia in science by introducing disease, dementia. Imagine you are celebrating New Year with your family. All the people you love are around you. Your parents, your children, your husband and wife. However, when you look at them, you suddenly realize you forget who they are. Your memory is gone. Scary. Even worse, you are told this is because some part of your brain is shrinking and there are no cures. All you can do is watch these people disappear from your memory. This is a real story for millions of dementia sufferers. Actually, by the time I finish this 2-minute talk, 38 more people in the world will develop dementia. However, scientific research is helping us finding ways to treat this disease. Even better, collaboration will speed up this process. As a scientific researcher, actually a PhD student myself, I have the incredible privilege to be in a collaboration between China and Australia in treating dementia. Under the supervision of the most talented scientists from Chinese and Australian Academy of Sciences, we have made groundbreaking findings to reverse this disease. Millions of people will benefit from it. Therefore, I appeal for more collaborations in science between China and Australia. I believe, aside from the great achievements in treating disease, scientific research will bring more benefit to the public. Collaboration makes the whole greater than the parts. Thank you.
The Women Leadership Forum Silver Awards goes to contestant number 12, Alice Zhao.
Since 2015, the China-Australia Free Trade Agreement allowed more trading opportunities in different sectors. As a health professional myself, I would love to see the two countries building more healthcare partnerships. As we all know, China is rapidly developing, and its disease profile is changing to developed country one, which means more and more people are suffering from chronic diseases, such as cancers, heart diseases, and obesity. Currently, China has various levels of healthcare. However, primary care, which we know as GPs here, is still in great demand. And this can be a great opportunity for Australian companies to expand their services overseas under the Free Trade Agreement. Other than that, it's also a good chance to establish more partnerships in pharmaceuticals, developing hospitals, research, and also aged care. On the other hand, the Free Trade Agreement included a side letter on traditional Chinese medicine, which is a big step in promoting Chinese culture in Australia. Practitioners can now work under an accreditation system here. In the future, I hope to see more Chinese medicine researchers in universities in Australia, so that Chinese medicine is more evidence-based and can be more easily incorporated into the healthcare system. At last, I sincerely hope that China and Australia would continue to make concerted efforts in healthcare and also strengthen existing partnerships. Because after all, the greatest wealth is health. Thank you.
The Bronze Award for the Women Leadership Award goes to contestant number 11, Kitty Yeung.